So my name's Adam Page. I'm Head of Information at Pira International, the former Printing Industry Research Association, and I'm also responsible for organising, in association with Ipex, the Great Print Debates. So what are the Great Print Debates? This is an event, a forum that's going to run every day of Ipex, so there will be 8 events in total, and the format is simply a panel of experts led by either Pira consultants or independent authority figures such as Frank Romano, and they will be debating in front of a live audience 4 of the hottest topics within the printing industry. People will be encouraged to register online for attendance, and that's happening now. It's free to attend. So we have chosen what we think are 4 of the hottest topics within the printing industry. First one that takes place on May the 18th and again on May the 22nd, more than ink on paper, how should printers be selling print? Ties in a bit with obviously the printer's profit zone, but in this session we'll be looking at how printers shouldn't just be selling print, they should be selling perhaps a wider range of services, positioning themselves as marketing or communication companies, how perhaps they can use the latest technologies, the latest business models to really kind of perhaps change their business model and change the way that they kind of operate within the printing industry. What will the printer of the future look like is the second session. Takes place on May the 19th and again on May the 23rd. This is very much looking ahead into the future, looking at different types of printing companies, whether Google will become the world's biggest printer in kind of 5 or 10 years' time, whether we'll see the rise of mega printers, these big kind of fortresses on the outskirts of the city with kind of lights out automation and complete production facilities. An interesting one, will an iPod for publishing kill printed media? And this is the one where the chair is Frank Romano, and we'll be looking at the rise of the e-reader, the rise of a possible device that could potentially completely wipe out newspapers, magazines, books. And in this session we will have representatives from both kind of e-reader manufacturers and media and publishing companies together with representatives from the traditional printing industry debating this important topic. And then finally, green print, is it worth it? Takes place on May the 21st and again on May the 25th. This is perhaps one of the hottest topics at the moment, this, the whole sustainability agenda and the green printing angle. And again, we have a mix of people from corporate responsibility and publishers and people looking at green print, and then we have perhaps skeptics or people who are kind of questioning this and whether or not end users are willing to pay more for so-called green print. I mentioned some of the big names that we have attending. Trevor mentioned Frank Romano, who is chairing the iPod for Publishing session, and he will also be a panellist for each of the other 8 sessions. And one of the things that we really want to kind of get from these are some really perhaps controversial opinions, some different ideas, and have them debated, as I say, in front of a live audience. So one kind of great quote from Frank already. Most environmental certification programs for print are scams, and he will be kind of debating that viewpoint, that controversial viewpoint, with people who are responsible at print machinery companies and people responsible for kind of corporate responsibility, as I say, in front of a live audience. We also have my colleagues Neil Faulkner and Sean Smith, who will be chairing 2 of the other sessions on profitability for printers and the print of the future. We've got a very kind of wide range of panellists, and for the full kind of program, I would direct you to the Ipex website, ipex.org/greatprintdebates, and you'll see the full list of panellists for each of the events. But as you can see, we've got representatives from major publishers, major print equipment manufacturers, major printers, and also some of the biggest independent kind of authority figures as both chairs and panellists. So the main reason, I guess, why we're doing this and why people would want to attend, well, you get a chance to listen to some of the biggest names in print and media debating 4 of the most controversial issues that we face in 2010. People who attend will also get a chance to join the debate. As I said, there will be real-time interaction, audience surveys with simple kind of polling technology, simple kind of handsets like this, where audience members will be asked questions and invited to kind of comment on the debate that's happening on the stage. And then at the end of the hour-long session, they'll be given as a takeaway a free and exclusive Pira study that we will be commissioning especially for this event with forecast to 2020.